Hello, people of Earth. There, that's better. Big Rich, TK, other trucker, James Bess. Change your mind? Yeah. But Mike, there's a method to my madness here. App review. No, it's not an app review yet. It's a message. It's a message. Sitting on the can at a receiver, says Harold. Morning, Ryan. Keith James. I'm surprised I got a decent enough signal to do this. You called it 2 years ago, TK. Don't book loads while driving the machine. So we'll get a few more people in here and we'll talk about it. Walter Bennett, good morning. Gear Grabber. What's up? What's up, Mr. Gear Grabber? Mr. Wilson? Wet my whistle. This is the one. Fail Rider. Raw Rider, what's up? Mr. Rodley, what's up? Happy Friday. Yeah, it's gonna suck because I gotta go into Dallas and I gotta go out of Dallas, and my appointment time for my pickup is 5 o'clock in Dallas. But the good news is the load is going straight to the house. I mean, like, I could throw a rock and hit this place. So I think the booking while driving is what they're after. Clyde, let's talk about that. All right, just waiting to get the nuggets from Snorlord. There ain't no nuggets here. All right, so for those of you who don't know and don't work for Schneider, Jeffrey Light did a video this morning, and he started talking about the new Schneider app, what it is, and here's the thing, guys, check it out. Here's a screenshot of the app. Whose truck is that? Jeffrey. It's Jeffrey's truck, right? That's Jeffrey Light's truck. Okay? And so he has a right to talk about the app because he knows people in the office still, and he's still very well connected there, even though he is no longer pulling that trailer. Okay? So that's number one. So, Jeff, I'll give you credit. You beat us all to it. And well, you should, because your truck's on the app, right? Uh-oh. What'd I do? Anyways. So, yeah, he's still on the old side. I think he might even be on the Compass app, which is the one for the company drivers. Now, here's the thing with the app. What does that rating say, people? That rating says 2. Now, I was told by my mobile phone representative that if you look at the Play Store and you see an app that has a 3-star or less rating, don't download it. So what it is that Schneider has officially said, guess what? You have to be on the app now. They officially said that. And they're doing that by shutting down the mobile website. There are reports that it's still up. Steve Berger said it's still up and all that. So the machine's still not forcing us to download it yet. No, all they're going to do is phase out the mobile website. Okay. Now, what this is, and Jeffrey brought this up very well in his video, that it's to prevent us from booking loads going down the road. And I'll get to that hammer down here in a second. And that's a good reason. I am getting so sick of people using their dang phones. They're driving and they're doing this, and they're not even, if you use a windshield mount, that's one thing. But if you got it in your hand or you're doing this, that is, those guys have almost put me in a ditch. It almost happened to me twice last night. So with the liability of that, and Schneider knows that we need these things to book our loads, they need to take the liability out. So that's what that's about. And there were some videos circulating a few months ago about this doom and gloom and how the app was going to access your pictures and all this stuff. Here's the thing, guys. It's not... It's okay. TransFlow. If you use the TransFlow app, that has access to your pictures. You know why? Because you're using your camera. Okay? It's not like it's going to find your nudie pics that you took on your honeymoon last Saturday, and it's going to put them on the internet, you know? So what eventually I think what the carriers want to do is, instead of the big bulky Qualcomms, they want to have tablets in the truck where you can just take it off the thing, go in the shipper and say, this is what I need. You do all your check-ins. That's eventually what wants to happen. So they're trying to go to an app-based system so they can get rid of the old bulky Qualcomms. Also, they're doing this so we don't book freight going down the road. So it's a matter of adapting and adjusting. So I am not optimistic because I'm reading the reviews, and it's not because I book freight going down the road. I don't book freight going down the road. I just don't. That's probably why I only average $1.20 a mile in my Truckin' Pro numbers, because I'm not getting all that high dollar freight as soon as it hits the board. Okay? Now, let's go to the advantages. I try to be optimistic. I try to be positive. Okay? So let's look at the silver lining here. If it evens the playing field with these guys that book going down the road, then so be it. That'll give me a chance to make that higher dollar money. And I have noticed this week that, guess what? My average rate per mile is like close to $2 a mile this week. You know why? Because I'm finding these high dollar loads that I usually don't see. So I think the app has something to do with that. So, number 2, if you cannot adjust or adapt to using the app, and you say, screw it all, and you quit, number 1, that'll send a message to Schneider. Number 2, more freight for me. Steve Berger said it in Jeff's live feed. More freight for me. So I'm trying to be optimistic about it. Now on Facebook I said I wasn't optimistic, but that's just Facebook, right? As you can see, I've downloaded it, but I have yet to open it. Okay? And the reviews are startling. 2.0. 2.0 is the review. Okay? And a lot of these are dating. Well, here's the newest one. 11:30. Web-based version is far superior. No multiple tabs for searches. That's going to be a problem. Because that multiple tab, that was a trick I showed you guys yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Takes forever to scan through loads, can't even search loads while, and I'm not reading the rest of it. So let's go to the Schneider Compass app for the company guys. Nope, it's not showing Jeff's truck. That's what it looks like. So now, here's the other thing that's going to happen. Do you remember back when Celadon was freaking out doing weird stuff and everybody made a Celadon video that don't work for Celadon? Well, guess what? You're going to have a lot of people. You're going to have a lot of people making videos about Schneider app. And Jeff is excluded with this. Jeff's allowed because his truck is on the app. So he's allowed to do it. But there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be doing videos about the app that don't work for Schneider. All the people on Facebook. You got, Facebook is weird with Schneider. You got a lot of owner-operator pages on Schneider. You got a lot of guys that are in there criticizing Schneider and they don't work there anymore. Well, that's why I left. Well, then why are you still here? Why are you still on the Facebook page if you're not here? And it's like visiting an old girlfriend and say, hey man, check it out, I'm doing better with this chick. You know, here's the thing, guys. It is in Schneider's best interest to make the app as good as possible, because if they start losing owner-operators over the whole deal, then Schneider Finance goes in the tank. And we lose a lot of our customer base because we can't service customers. Why? Because Schneider owner-operators are leaving. You guys. Oh man, I'll get to the comments here in a second. I don't want to be distracted. What do I got to say? I got nothing to say. Let's go to the comments, right? But Jeffrey, like, if you're watching this, it's cool. I'm glad you did a video. I'm glad you broke the ice. So, Mr. Rodley, Jeffrey had some good info on how to go around using the app while driving. Wanting to go IC in January, but having some hesitation. Still think it's a good move from company driver to lease op. Mr. Rodley, that's a typical question to ask, because I can't sit there and say if it's a good move or not, because it just depends on what you need, what your needs are, and what you're looking for, and what you're willing to put up with. Being an owner-operator is not an easy decision. If you have aspirations to be an owner-operator, it is a good foot in the door kind of thing, okay? But if you're looking at it from a money standpoint, that all depends on what your home bills are like and what you're willing to put up with. There are guys that go to the Schneider lease side if you're going to get a Schneider Finance truck that quit within, 2 or 3 months because they didn't realize what all it entails. It's a different mindset. So I can't answer that question for you. I have no issues here, even with the bad app reviews. Now, I might change my mind a week from now when I'm trying to book something off the app, and we'll get to that. I'll do an app review, but hopefully, like I said, here's the thing, guys. Schneider is no different than any other company. All these companies make changes to things thinking that they're making improvements, and they're not. This is not about improving a situation for Schneider. This is about liability. They don't want you on this device when you're driving. Okay? Now, Hammer Down says, which that's John Citrone, if you guys don't know. He says that some guys, here, I'll go to his comment here. It's going to be a lot of Schneider guys pulled off on the side of the road. I didn't know where, LOL. Yeah, but let's go to your comment about the walking around. Oh, man, you guys have commented too much. Okay, Hammer Down says, man, I was reading some of the reviews, and one guy was saying that he can't even walk around his house and look at the low board. He has to put it down flat on the table. Yeah, that's interesting to me. We'll see what happens. Now, the thing that's going to be, I think, difficult to manage is if you're a team. Your teammate is looking at the low board, and while you're rolling down the road. Now, this is another way you can get around it. You can have someone at home helping you book loads. Okay? That can still happen. They don't go by your driver number. They go by what app you're signed into. Okay? So you can still book from your laptop from home or your computer from home with someone else helping you out, which, a lot of the smart people do that anyways. So it won't affect that. Trucker's Coach was wrong when he said that people at home wouldn't be able to book for you. So, and I'm not bashing Coach. I'm just saying that his video that he did about 4 months ago was all gloom and doom. And, you got to look at the positives. And like I said, it access your camera, because eventually they want to start using the TransFlow through the app. They want to start being able to scan the documents directly. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Traveloco have an app where you can scan the bills directly? Machine says, I actually can't wait for this to happen. I'll be snagging loads first because I shut down usually before anyone because I drive at nights a lot. The Machine, you bring up a good point. The majority of my loads I book are around 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning. That's when I find my best weeks because for some reason my clock is off and I'm always up at 4. Even like last night, I shut down at 11:30 last night. And I was still up at 4. So now Hammer Down said it's going to be a lot of Schneider guys pulled off on the side of the road. I didn't know where, LOL. Right, but there's a delay, Hammer Down. So we have a sitting duck policy. So that's going to get ugly too. So Pale Rider TV has no plans to make a video about this. Good deal. TK, I heard the programmer that made the apps from Pennsylvania. I wouldn't doubt it, TK. Big Rich, I'm going to make a video about Schneider. No, you're not. Gear Grabber, dang, I wanted to do a video on this new app. Snowler won't let me. My truck isn't on the app. Well, Gear Grabber, you can tell Jeff, since he's not in here, that I'm not dogging him at all. He has the right to do a video. But only because he was over here for 10 years and his truck is on the app. Good morning, Nothing Witty. Big Rich says, I'm making one looks like all of 15 years ago. New House Trucking, what's up? Matt Keeley, waiting, next page, waiting. What about, yeah, that, okay, Matt, let's bring that up. I've heard that scrolling through the loads is slower and clumsier, and it's a lot more, you know, it's not as productive, and that's going to be a problem. Two things that I'm not liking so far that I've heard is you can't open multiple tabs and then it's clumsy and slow. What about the team situation? I don't know, Donald. Donald Backworth asked, what about the team situation? I don't know. I don't know how they're handling that. And I will not, you know, that's the only comment I'll make because I don't know. I don't know the team side very well. Big Rich. No, Jeffrey, don't cry. Gosh. Jeez, Jeff. I said that you were allowed to do the video because your truck is on the app. Look. Oh, I sent you the screenshot. Look. That's a nice truck, Jeffrey. There's a debate what color that is. So. Yeah, YouTube still won't let me change my name. I was trying to say there's going to be a lot of drivers from Schneider just pulling off the side of the road without nowhere because of this app. Yeah. Old app still running today, Matt Keeley. Yeah, maybe. Well, I'll have to read the message, but yeah, they were saying that Friday, December 1st, it was going to, like if you went to the mobile website, it was going to give you a link to the app, and that was it. Mr. Rodley, I use the Transflow app exclusively, never had an issue. What do you mean, Mr. Rodley? It didn't like access pictures of your cat and your sunrises and post them on Facebook for you? Man. The Transflow app, by the way, guys, won't let you use it when you're going down the road either. Gary Compton, just did my annual business review yesterday, waste of time. Gary, I will agree with that. I got to do mine. I'm missing out on revenue because of mine. And they're not even sure if they can get me booked for my drive around the block test. That they need to do away with. Jeffrey's griped about it. We've all griped about it, right? And in order for me to do it, unless I can find a load between Monday and Wednesday going to St. Louis, I'm going to have to deadhead all the way to St. Louis. And then even then I got to sit for a day and hope that they can get me done. And this is all based whether I won't find out till Monday if they can actually get me in. So it's funny. They said, oh, you're within that window that you need to schedule it. Then I try to schedule it and they're like, oh, this is too far out to schedule it. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to schedule it? they won't let you just drive in and say, hey, let's do the drive around the block test. They won't let you do that. That annoys me. So there's my rant. I mean, can you see it? One of your favorites confirms and smoke pours out of the back of your trailer and you pull off to the side of the road trying to get that load, LOL. Yeah, that's going to be a dangerous action. Trucker Steven PA, what's up? Got some new info on the upcoming ELD switch. There's an ELD switch? Gary, I'll be ready to watch that. I have no idea what you're talking about. GPS faker time on a separate device. I mean, I wouldn't do that. Is that the same app carriers use? If so, Jeff is entitled to it. Machine. Jordan Barber, what's up? It's a pain to get that scheduled. I know. Do it in Dallas. Yeah, but you can't, dude. I've been in Dallas 3 times this week. They like, hey Steve, what's up? When I drive up there. And but they won't let you just like schedule it on a whim. They won't let you come in, hey, do you got time to do this today? New annual drive here or just annual steak dinner meeting? Jeffrey I'm all about that. Sign me up. Sign me up. Gear Grabber said I passed. Schedule on Friday for the machine says, dang it, the machine says schedule it on Friday for the following week. That's what I did in Carlisle. Well, that's kind of what I tried to do it. Well, I got doc's appointments on Monday, okay? So I figured if I schedule it for Wednesday, I can grab my usual load that goes to Wheeling and still have, several days of revenue. If I scheduled it early in the week, I have the rest of the week to get my revenue. But I don't see how you Schneider Finance guys do it, because that, if you miss out on a day or two of revenue, or you have to get out of your normal running lane to get to an OC, that can put you in the hole. And that would be annoying. Livestock, it's 90 delay. Explain to me why doesn't everybody else? John Cater. Because livestock, oh, Gary, were you talking about the ELD mandate thing? But the livestock, well, cows don't care about 10-hour breaks. See, that's the problem with the ELD. And see, in that, we're switching subjects here, but all the exemptions that people want are going to give notice to the issues. In other words, cattle haulers have to get their product there. They can't sit for 10 hours if they're 45 minutes from their customer. You know what I mean? Especially in the summertime or in the wintertime when it's real cold. So it becomes a liability issue with the bottom line. Excuse me. And those exemptions, when they come to light, are going to be the loopholes that people will use to get off ELDs. Like you saw Trucker Eric Journeys in my video a couple of nights ago. He's got a 99 engine glider kit, and so he doesn't have to worry about the ELD mandate. And, so the ELD is a mess. I told you guys it was going to be a mess, and it's continuing to be a mess. And everybody's getting angrier by the minute. So you would think that you could do the drive around the block in any OC at any time. It's 10 minutes. Right, James Best, I agree. I don't work for the Big O, but this all seems reasonable to me. Says Trucker CPA. Trucker protest on Sunday, you ready? Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer in the house. Yeah, you must have a lot of free time, Matt Lauer. Oh, man. Is this rate mature? Dollar bill, I'm heading to Dallas now, Denton. Well, I'm at the Choctaw Casino here. What's the annual biz review? Ryan Clark. Okay, so once a year, Schneider requires us to go to an OC, and we have to do this driving test to make sure that we're not like, And then they look at how we're doing our logs, and then we answer this thing on a video and watch a video, and to make sure our permits are up to date and make sure that we're all kosher on everything. And you know, they want to make sure that we're hooking to a trailer correctly. They want to make sure that we're doing the dolly correctly, and that we're doing our pre-trip inspections. You know, they want to make sure that we still know what we're doing. And a lot of guys that have a lot of years under their belts take offense to it because we already know what we're doing. And so it's a big waste of time, and it's a waste of revenue. And it's a waste of their time too, because here's my suggestion if anybody from Schneider's watching. Maybe if you have more than so many critical events, if you have so many critical events in a year, then you have to do a review. How about that? How about them apples? You know how many critical events I've had since I've been here for 2 years? I've had one braking event. And that was because a gust of wind, and it caught me by surprise. I was like, and that was it, And so that would eliminate a lot of wasted time. And if you're a bad driver and you get a lot of critical events, there you go. You need that review, okay? There should be an annual rate review. I agree, Ziza. That's an interesting name. No, Schneider's getting a new ELD system by July. Oh, I want to hear more about that, Gary. And you know why I'll take your word on that, Gary? Because you work for Schneider. Hammerdown says, yeah, if I miss 1 day of revenue, it really hurts. It makes a big difference. You are correct. Machine says I scheduled mine with a big open window load going through Carlisle, and it only took 1 hour, plus you get paid for it. Just sucks trying to schedule. This is your second one, right? Yep, this is my second one. Yeah. Pause for the cause. How about them Cowboys? I have 0 critical events in 14 months as an IC, knock on wood. Says the machine. Matt Keeley, load change, 60,000 pounds to 45,000 pounds. So much fun. Yeah, you gotta love them. Scott James has 16 critical events this year. You might have an overly sensitive, and Dre talked about it in his video that he hit this, you know how like some construction zones you get tipped over a little bit because, the uneven pavement. Sometimes those trigger it. I think that the Schneider finance trucks are a little bit more sensitive with the tip over stuff. So do you think rates and company pay will go up with the new mandate? Yes, Rod Lee. Testing it in the Western 11 now. Okay, no. All right, so let's look at the advantages of the app, okay? So try to be positive, right? It will even the playing field with the loads. Jeffrey brought that up. Jeffrey mentioned that the high-paying loads that you normally don't see that the guys are snagging, guys, I see settlements on Facebook, screenshots of guys getting $6,000 and $7,000 weeks here. You can make money here. And the guys that are savvy to being able to book loads, those are the ones that become the most successful. Plain and simple. And so it will level the playing field. Like I said, my average rate per mile this week just went through the roof. I don't know if it's because of the holidays. I don't know if it's my timing on the load board, or I don't know if it's because everybody's on the app and I'm still on the mobile website. Who knows? But I don't book going down the road. I just don't. Usually if something favorites, the favorite confirms, I'll hit the nearest rest area. That's why I missed out on a lot of good loads. Steve Berger was trying to book me well in Pennsylvania. He said, hey, you need to book this and this and load. And he was sitting still, and he told me about these loads. Well, I was still rolling. And when these loads came up on the board, And when I got parked, I looked and the loads were gone. Because, we were both sitting still at a truck stop. He was at a different truck stop, and he told me to favorite these loads, and we were waiting for them to confirm. So I get rolling. I get the Qualcomm message that, hey, these loads confirmed. Well, I needed to get going. I need to get rolling. And so therefore, by the time I got parked, I couldn't book those good Pennsylvania loads, and I ended up getting crap out of Pennsylvania. So that's how that works. So the machine says those screenshots must be photoshopped. That's not possible with the hours. Machine, have you seen the Facebook post? I don't think you can. I mean, it would take a lot of effort just to screenshot or Photoshop those. SFI trucks have a more sensitive sensor, says Newhouse. It's working out good. So, now, here's the other thing. People like Jeffrey and Newhouse, anybody else that has got access to the Schneider load board on the authority side or small carrier side, outside carrier side, you're fixing to make some money off this, because if Schneider has problem covering the loads because everything's all messed up, guess what? They're going to put that on the open loads, and then you guys can make money off that. So, look for my water here. Might be a week bleeding into another. Well, yeah, there's a load that I do that pays like $1,700, right? Usually picks up on Friday, delivers on Monday or on Tuesday. See, so I'll have like a $600 week, and then the next week I'll have a $4,000 week with only 2,000 miles because that load bled over. So that happens a lot too. And sometimes you're just in the right area at the right time. The machine says, but 5 or 6K every week, that's not possible. I agree with the machine. Kevin and Ollie, what's up? That monthly payment is nice, right? 4K, don't see that very often. Guys, I've only hit the 4K mark twice, I think. Ryan Clark says, I literally just found out they'd tell me when a load just confirmed, so I wasn't even looking at anything unconfirmed on the board. Literally have run this biz the first 2 months with the blindfold on. Okay, so Ryan, let's go over that. If you're a brand new Schneider IC or you're getting ready to be a Schneider IC, do not filter out unconfirmed loads, because you will miss out on a lot of good stuff. And then you can have it set to where you get an alert on your email and on your Qualcomm. Now the email will hit first, and then like about a minute later it'll be the Qualcomm. So then you can, and what it does is it keeps an eye on these loads. There are loads that I favored that never confirm. I never get the notification, then they're gone. So these are loads that either went to company or something else happened to them. I'm thinking I was only seeing 25% of my load options. Right. The only thing with Ryan, the only thing with booking, you can't book an unconfirmed load, but when you have a Schneider finance payment, you don't want to gamble on that one load to confirm, because here's what I've done. I've looked at an unconfirmed load, and then I look at what the potential it could bring. Well, if I do this load, I could go to Dallas and do this load. Then from Dallas, I could go to Oklahoma and do this load. And all these other loads are confirmed. So I've got them all favored, and I'm ready to go to action, but I'm waiting on that one load to confirm. And so I won't book anything. And I wait, and I wait. Next thing you know, my loads that I all favored it are gone, and the load never confirms. Now I'm scrambling at the last minute when everybody else is booking like Sunday night and to find something to do. I have a little bit of flexibility to take that gamble more often, but that's a gamble that can put you in the hole. So a lot of times you want to know about the unconfirmed loads, but you don't want to put a whole lot of weight on them, if that makes sense. The dates change too when they confirm. Just learn that the hard way. Yes, the dates and times change also. Next gen, what's up? So that you know, it'll be interesting to see what the app shows on that kind of stuff. But I lost my train of thought here. But yeah, sometimes you take that gamble and you lose. Sometimes you take that gamble and you win. It's awesome when you win, because you're like, oh, if it confirms, you check your favorites, it's all there, you go doing, boom, you booked your whole week out. So, but don't be afraid to do the last minute stuff too, because sometimes the last minute stuff is desperate, so there's a little bit higher money on it. So James Fest says also favorite loads that are a day earlier than I need, just in case it doesn't get booked and dates change, something that will work. Right, and then also the other trick that I just thought of is that, let's say, like I've got a logo from Dallas to Springfield that I'm picking up today. There's like 5 loads coming out of Dallas. And I've favorited them, because if my loads somehow cancels, then I've got something else already in mind. I've got plan B, C, and D. And Nothing Witty says, another thing not to do, don't book a string of loads and then cancel them because something better confirms later. That's kind of BS. Right, Schneider doesn't really like you to do that. They won't allow you to do that most of the time. And that would be a logistical nightmare if they allowed us to do that. Trucker Erickson, Spokane, Washington. Do you really go doing? Yeah, I go doing. But almost made me spit my water. But so yeah, so you don't want to look at the load board after you've booked something. Like, I'm not looking for loads out of Dallas anymore because I favorited a bunch that get me where I need to go. But at the same time, you want to have plan B and C just in case your loads cancel. Now, I don't have a huge problem, knock on wood, I'll probably jinx myself, with loads canceling on me. But if they do, I've got 4 loaded. Or here, I'll tell you a story. You guys want story time here? By the way, you pick a load of this up, you get free. So, I was picking up a load of this in Dallas. Speaking of water, I have a trash can over there. I just didn't throw it in my truck, just in case you guys were wondering. And I had 4 loads booked after that load. So I show up, give them my pickup number. That's for the Hawkins plant. Hawkins, Texas. I think that's about 100 miles away. So I called Schneider, said, hey, this is for the Hawkins plant. Okay, well, we'll take that load and all your loads off. Because she was like, do you want to go to Hawkins? I'm like, no, or else I would have booked that one. So, you know, anybody who's been in the Hawkins plant there, you know it's a pain in the butt, right? So I sit there. Now I got to book my whole week again. So I find another load right where I'm at, pick it up right where I'm at, book that string, wait for everything to confirm and get to my Qualcomm. So now I've booked, you know, a second string of loads. I go in there, they're like, hey, that pickup number's also for Hawkins. And I'm like, it was a different destination, so I figured it'd be different, right? So I had to get rid of all my loads again. So And she finally said on the phone, hey, stop booking those loads, because obviously they're screwed up. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go 6 miles down the road, pick up my next load, and I book my next week. So in the course of an hour and a half, I booked like 15 loads. So you can't do that at Landstar. That's why I'm over here. And I'm hoping that Schneider doesn't screw something good up. I'm hoping that they make improvements to the app for the people that are having issues. And like I said, I'll do an honest review later. But I just wanted to kind of put this out there. There's going to be a lot of people putting out videos that don't work here about Schneider. And Jeffrey Like is the exception to that rule. So anyways, guys, we're going to make this short. I actually got to work today. Now, I've been working this week. Hey, maybe that's why my average rate per mile just went up, right? But if you guys were watching me during my video live feed about the load board a couple of nights ago, I told you I was looking for something. Well, early yesterday morning, I found 2 loads that worked out just perfect that weren't on there before. And in order to get home, I had to go to Dallas, and then from Dallas, I was able to get home. So all's well that ends well. So for those of you who haven't used the app yet, let's try to be positive, okay? Sean, what's up? Big Rich says you're crazy. Fiji is one of the least acidic bottled waters on the market. I like Fuji. Fiji. Is it Fuji or Fiji? There's talk of them flooding the IC program in the coming months. Flooding how? So, Gary, have you been using the app? I want Gary Compton's opinion of the app, because he's still over here. Rather drink dirty bathwater, LOL. Morning Star Lord. Alaskan Cowboy, what's up? You call it square water? Ryan Clark. I would, it'll be interesting to say the least of the situations coming up. So, alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. And I'm sure I'll get some thumbs down for this video, because there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of choices, and and I appreciate you guys for choosing me. So, see you.